My name is Danny Garcia, and since December of 1996, I've been walking around the world for children and for world peace. This is 12 years of walking literally around the world, and it's taken me to about 5 different continents. It's been a great experience. Coming here to New York City now is the finale of walking around the world. 25,000 miles is actually the distance of the world. So it's a great place. This is where I grew up. I was born and raised in New York. Went to school in Manhattan, and in fact in this area. My father was honored at the Lincoln Center for Performing Arts, being a musician, which is right next door. It's only 2 blocks away. So it's it's perfect that the walk ends here at St. Paul the Apostle Church. And you know, being a Christian, and how this whole walk started many years ago, it started with God. This is really, I mean, Danny Garcia is walking, but really I couldn't do it without God. Because He was the one who orchestrated everything. I mean, all the countries I've been, all the people I've met, heads of countries, world leaders, you know, poor people, wealthy people, and I've done this without any money, you know. Well, how do you walk around the world without any money? Well, God touches people's hearts, and somebody will give you a free airline ticket, and hotels will give you free places to stay and food to eat. It's kind of like Forrest Gump.
So, what?
I've always walked. You're living on 106th Street and going to school on 96. My mom used to give me money to take the bus, but I would keep the money and spend it on candy or something, a treat that I want. But I've always walked. I went in the Marines at 17. You walk in the Marine Corps, and I was in law enforcement. I walked, but it wasn't until I experienced a divorce that it changed. My whole life just was shattered, and that was in California, and I was lost. I was dead. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go. My whole life, after being married for 21 years and knowing someone for 24 years, what do you do? Where do you go? So I gave up everything. And she wanted a divorce, and she did. She applied and she processed, and so I just went to San Francisco and I started walking. Walking where? Well, I said I'll walk to San Diego. But I didn't care whether I lived or died. I really didn't. I was looking forward for a semi or something to hit me on the road. That was the truth. I was so devastated. But during that time, I asked God in praying and just talking to Him while I was on the road. I just asked Him, you're the giver of life. I need life. I need a reason to live. I kept meeting people along the way, and they kept helping me. Hotels were donating hotels. U.S. Marines came aboard with Humvees and followed me all the way to San Diego because I almost got hit by cars. And I just kept going, and I kept going right into Tijuana, where I ended up speaking to, 15, 20,000 kids at the on the Fiesta del Sol, which is, their New Year's. And when I saw those kids, and I saw that they were poor and hungry, I just knew I had to keep walking. It's like Forrest, I just couldn't stop walking. I had to keep walking, and it wasn't necessarily that I was walking for a cause or anything, but I had to keep walking. There are so many stories. We have so many people that have asked me to write a book, and just take, like, for instance, this peace pole. This has been a peace pole that has been given to me by the World Peace Prayer Sanctuary, and they're in upstate New York, and they put "May Peace Prevail on Earth" for me in 8 different languages. And there's over 250,000 peace poles. They believe in what I'm doing. They love what I'm doing, and so I'm taking this peace pole all over the world. There's been some stories like walking in Iraq, and 20,000 Iraqis join you, and you think they're coming to kill you. You've got an escort vehicle of Iraqi military with guns in the front and the back, and you've got a whole entourage. And they ask you, what are we going to do? Because they didn't know either, if they were going to kill me or what. They ended up singing to me. And they walk with me, they kept walking with me. And they put a robe on me, like Lawrence of Arabia, and they gave me an Arab name. And then in Palestine, I did a walk for a boy who needed a heart operation. So I had to go from Jordan to Egypt. In Gaza, Arafat and company, people had given me a medal. In Rafah, which was, shortly around the corner, I was abducted by 2,000 Palestinians and held hostage. Israel was Tel Aviv, walking in Tel Aviv and Haifa. They loved me there. It was great. And we were walking for an organization called Elan. Australia, walking from Perth to Sydney to get there in time for the opening of the Olympic Games. And then meeting, as you were saying, with people, not just, heads of state and world leaders, like I did a walk for King Hussein when he was ill, and I did a walk for Queen Rania with 15,000 people, and did walks in the Philippines, and everywhere you meet people. And there are great people out there, and they're touched. When you're walking 40, 50, 25 miles a day, for them, they come out and they usually participate in your walk, and they're involved. The walk from DC to New York, we've met a lot of people, a lot of mayors, we met with the representative of the governor's office of Newark. They were very touched. They want me to come back and do a walk with them because they're trying to come together. And that's what this walk does, I think. God brings people together, and then they start talking. And in the process of talking, they realize that there's commonalities. And so through that, they have hope. That's what a lot of people say. Even in the movie with Forrest Gump, they said, people say, you have hope, you give them hope. Well, how do you give them hope? Well, when you show somebody that you love them, that you care about them, that you're there for them, whether it's a kid that needs an eye operation or a kid that needs a heart operation or whatever, and that when they can't, yes, we can. Yes, we can. I'm not just inspired. It's my calling. It's my job. And I work for God. Because you guys are the future of the world. Yep. And Jesus said, hearken the little children to come unto me, for such is the kingdom of... Is that right, Captain? So this is great. Do we have any more kids? Would you like to come up and join us?
The rainbow kid.
Come on, rainbow kid.
Cute?
All the children should come up.
All the kids. Anybody who's
It's all
a kid.
about you.
Hey.
Pictures
Where's
for a whole
Donna?
week that she's been with me.
Where's Donna?
Donna's right over here. This is Donna Clapp. This is Bruce, who you've talked to. Muchas gracias por todo. Whatever's here is going to be broadcast all over YouTube. Oh,
This is a very special year for this church and for all of us. This church has been declared by the Holy See a place of pilgrimage. There's probably no better way to end this walk except at this place here in this wonderful city this year of pilgrimage. A lot of people are making pilgrimages to New York this year. Not so much here, but to Yankee Stadium to see the last time that the Yankees played has been there, and also to Shea Stadium for that other team. But there's something very important about a pilgrimage. It's a place where it is a place, and it's made holy by people's faith, by the faith that they bring. And Daddy, the faith that you bring here is the faith that the world can in fact be a wonderful place for children, a world that children suffer because of immigration, migration, and war. all the great, terrible social problems that cause displacement to so many. It is also a place of great hope. And the faith that you bring here, this year of Paul, as Paul traveled himself, this a great journey all around the known world at the time to bring the message of peace from our Lord, to bring the message that there is always hope, faith available to all who seek it. So in this year of St. Paul that Benedict has declared, it's also another special time to be here to celebrate these 25,000 monuments. So with great faith, great hope in what you represent, I'm delighted to welcome Donna Garcia here to the Church of St. Paul the Apostle, a holy place of pilgrimage. We're going to hear from a few speakers, and I'd like to ask them to come up. First, we have Donna from Where Peace Lives. Please present your remarks.
Hi, my name is Donna Clapp. I'm actually not going to speak for very long because my husband Jeff, who is the program director for Where Peace Lives, is going to be speaking a little bit on our behalf. But I did really want to introduce our children representatives from PS 132 in Brooklyn. They're in the middle of working on their Peace Mural project right now, and they want to say a little bit about what they're getting out of doing the project and a little bit about what peace means to them. So I'd love for you to come up.
What really is amazing is the power of people when we come together and we can just be in communication with one another, which really is the foundation of where peace lives, is our foundation. So I wanted to start by actually asking Danny to come up. We wanted to present Danny with a small token. And for those of you who haven't had a chance to know what these murals are in front of you, this is a mural that was painted by elementary school children in Nova Scotia, Canada. It made its way down here last month. And at the front of the church is a mural that was painted by students at West Orange High School, which will be making its way over to Africa, hopefully at the beginning of the new year. So Danny, it's hard to put words to what it's been like to be with you. So we wanted to, on behalf of Where Peace Lives, present you with this plaque, this certificate, and reminder of your accomplishment and the possibility that you continue to create for people everywhere. So I'd just like to take a moment and read it. It says, this special award certificate recognizes Daniel Garcia as a world peacemaker, having successfully completed this date, October 26, 2008, over 25,000 miles of walking around the world for and on behalf of peace. Danny, we thank you for your courage and service to humanity and to the many children, families, and communities your tireless efforts have and continue to impact, and to the unseen rewards your love and devotion will bring to the many children who will participate in the Where Peace Lives International Mural Exchange Program. Together, through all of us, is where a new possibility for Where Peace Lives. And then this is a very special gift. This gift is actually for your family. This is a painting that I created several years ago. And the significance of it more is in the title of the painting than the painting itself. We've done a lot of traveling through Africa. The painting is called The Spirit Moves Her. And that really does symbolize who you are in the world, because it really is the spirit that moves you through 25,000 miles. So just thank you.
He was starting and I was starting to get there, and I just loved him. I loved this guy. I loved his wife. And 1 Corinthians chapter 13 says that love conquers all. That's the bottom line. We can do all kinds of things, but if we don't love, we're off target. We must know. So I'll tell you later maybe what love means to me, what Jesus told me love means to me. I just thank you, man. God bless you.
Where Peace Lives was created inside love and commitment to our greatest treasure, our children, because they hold the key to what is possible in the world. What we strive for as parents, as teachers, as mentors, is to impart whatever wisdom, encouragement, and guidance we can, so that they can not only dream, but they can make those dreams a reality through leadership, through truth, and through love. The vision of Where Peace Lives is to create a culture of peace, where our future leadership experiences the joy and the fulfillment of making powerful contributions to themselves